Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to hear some more about eye tracking? Everybody still awake? Right. So, who here knows about Tobii? Almost half. That's good. So I started Tobii in my mom's basement 14 years ago. Yeah, it's a good start, isn't it? Why? Well, we were in love with technology in general, but we also saw that machines were at that point, and if I may say so, still pretty dumb. Yeah, they are. They do what we ask them to do, if even that. So Tobii has today grown to be almost 600 full-time employees doing only eye tracking. So eye tracking is no longer a joke. It's no longer science fiction. We ship products. We help several 10,000s of disabled people communicate today. They're actually using it as their primary means of communication today, using it through their eyes. We have more than 200 engineers working on developing eye tracking and the next generation of eye tracking. So, with that being about Tobii, I would like to talk about eye tracking. And I mean, not about eye tracking from Tobii, not about eye tracking in wearables or in laptops, but eye tracking in general as a concept. We use our eyes for communication all the time. You, sir, you know that I'm looking at you, right? You can see how people roll their eyes, or who they're paying attention to, what they've seen and what they've not seen. We use it all the time. If all you were wearing sunglasses, or even bags over yourself, if I could not see what you were doing, if I could not see if you were paying attention to me or not, this communication would be very, very different. Eye tracking gives that capability to computers, to machines, to cars, to anything, basically. It's about what eye tracking can do together with other modalities. I would say that with a few niche exceptions, eye tracking is not the solution to any problem by itself. But combined with other things, it's great. For example, eyes and using your gaze point. First of all, you only have one gaze point, unless you have some super skills that you can look at two things at once, but or eyes in the back of your neck, maybe. You can only look at one thing at a time. So you only have one gaze point. It's like having one finger when you touch type, right? Second, you can't really control your eyes. As we heard Jim speak about earlier as well, some things are good to do with your eyes and some things are not. Handicraft, for example, try to draw a circle with your gaze point. I dare you. You cannot. It's not possible because the eye does not have that behavior. However, the eye is very, very good at going from point A to point B, and especially if you combine that with the fact that the eyes are primarily used to take in information, then it becomes extremely powerful. So we're all about combining different input modalities, different intelligent systems to create an ultimate experience. And today, we're shipping our second generation eye tracking, wearable eye tracking solution called the Tobii Glasses 2. You see them up here. They're already shipping. We work on several different layers, so you can get the raw data, you can get more aggregated data, fixations, you can work with our SDKs to get higher level information. And I challenge you all to think about what you could do with that. And don't just think about pointing and selecting with your eyes. Because you can gather data. You can know what has been seen, what has not been seen. You can choose how to power things, how to spend those limited resources as battery, GPU, CPU, bandwidth, and everything else just with eye tracking. You can have a machine that does something that is not a direct command, hopefully correctly interpreted by the machine, and an action associated to that command. You can actually have a machine that understands you. And my last comment is that it ships now. So yeah, reach out to Tobii if you're interested in knowing more about how to incorporate eye tracking into your applications. Thank you.
We still have time for a few questions. Oh.
Thank you. That was great. I've got 2 questions for you. The first was, I believe it was Tobii that worked with graffiti artist Tempt One.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any updates on that project?
Not that I know, actually. We've had several artists doing eye tracking art. Our largest business unit is providing accessibility and communication aids for disabled, and we have some softwares that allow you to create art as well with your gaze point. It's maybe not the fastest way, but if that's your only way to express yourself, it's really, really fascinating to see what they can create. There's even some in the video gaming kind of realm of things.
And the second quick question was, you said that it could help us, help the machine to understand the wearer. And I was wondering if you've been doing any work around empathy.
Well, it depends on what you what is empathy in that. If it's the empathic machine that we're looking to get.
Yes.
Well, we can create a machine that responds to your behavior. Is it truly empathic? No, not really, I'd say still.
Have you looked into measuring cognitive workload using pupillometry data?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say most, maybe all of our eye trackers output the size of the pupil in absolute measures in the continuous flow of information that comes from the tracker, so frame by frame. The pupil size is a good indicator for a lot of mental states, basically, as well as combined with the eye movements. And especially powerful if you link it to knowing what item the person is perceiving and picking up on right now. But we are a technology provider. We are, in some cases, we also do the use case in the software, but most cases we just provide the raw technology that outputs the data, and then we'll leave it up to you guys to explore the use cases and derive the conclusions. So we don't do that in this case. Yeah.
Back here, John.
John, are you a completely passive system, or do you support what distances and what is the accuracy on the eye tracking? Can you comment on that? Are you supporting both indoor and outdoor, or just indoor?
Great question. We have remote and wearable solutions, and of course the working distance would be very different. Our wearable solution, currently the glasses 2, it's a worn system, so you wear it on your head. It's a pair of glasses. We don't have the slide up there, but if you remember the pictures, those 2 forks that go around, as long as you are wearing them, that's the working distance. So it compensates fully for slippage if it moves around. So that's supposed to be irrelevant to the system if it moves around, and it works really, really well. So it's robust in that side. And it does work outdoors as well. Well, I don't know if there are any specific limitations in California, for example, where the sunlight is a lot stronger than in Sweden, where I'm from.
Other questions for John? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
John Elvesjo.